Apple isn't launching the iPhone 17e because they suddenly care about saving you money. They aren't doing this out of the kindness of their hearts, and they're definitely not doing this just to give budget buyers a nice little treat. They're doing it because the smartphone industry is running out of momentum. The walls are closing in on the era of rapid innovation, and the iPhone 17e is Apple's panic button. But here's the thing about Apple's panic buttons. They usually end up changing the entire industry. This phone isn't just cheap, it's strategic. It is a calculated weapon designed to destroy the competition. It might end up being the most important iPhone Apple has released in years, far more important than the ultra-expensive Pro models that usually steal the spotlight. This device is coming for everyone, from the competitors dominating the mid-range segment to Apple's own premium lineup. Here's the part nobody at Apple will say out loud, but everyone in the tech world knows is true. The Pro story is getting tired. It is exhausted. For years, the formula worked perfectly. You add more cameras, you slap on some premium titanium or steel materials, you bump up the price, and people line up around block. But look around you. Buyer behavior has shifted. The average person is no longer obsessed with having the absolute highest number on a spec sheet. Most people are done chasing specs because they have realized they don't need a cinema rig in their pocket to take a picture of their dog or their lunch. They don't need a supercomputer to scroll through Instagram. They want reliability. They want a modern design that doesn't look 5 years old. They want speed that still feels fast 3 or 4 years later. And perhaps most importantly, they want battery life that survives a full day of heavy use without giving them anxiety. That is the massive gap in the market that the iPhone 17e is designed to dominate. Now, let's talk about the brain of this device, because this is where things get serious and frankly a little bit ridiculous. According to the most reliable supply chain leaks, Apple is dropping the A19 chip straight into this phone. Let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about a watered-down version of a chip from 2 years ago. We're not talking about a compromised processor designed to save costs. We're talking about the actual next-generation Apple silicon. This is the same engine that will likely power their most expensive flagship devices. Even with a slightly trimmed GPU and probably somewhere between 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM. This thing is a performance monster. We're talking about a chip that will age better than most Android flagship phones launched in the same year. Think about the mid-range Android market right now. Those phones are great when you take them out of the box, but give them a year or two. They start to stutter. The animations get choppy. The battery life tanks. The iPhone 17e, powered by the A19, will likely still feel buttery smooth close to the end of the decade. That kind of longevity is Apple's real advantage. They're selling you a phone that you don't have to replace, which ironically might be bad for their sales numbers in the long run, but it is devastating for their competition. There's a question you have to ask yourself. Do you think a budget iPhone is better in terms of raw performance than an Android flagship that costs twice as much? It is a controversial take, but when you look at the benchmarks of Apple's silicon, the answer is often yes. The real power move here, however, isn't just raw speed. It is efficiency. Apple already proved its in-house modem works with the iPhone 16e, but the iPhone 17e is about optimizing it. This is about better efficiency, fewer drop calls, smarter power management, and more usable screen-on time without actually increasing the physical size of the battery. Even marginal gains here matter because this is how Apple quietly wins. These aren't the flashy upgrades that look good on a billboard. You can't market better power management on a subway ad effectively, but they are exactly the upgrades that most users feel every single day when their phone doesn't die at 8 p.m. Physically, Apple is finally killing the budget iPhone look. For years, if you bought the cheaper iPhone, everyone knew it. You had the big bezels or the outdated notch, while the cool kids had the dynamic island. According to the latest iPhone 17 leak, the notch is finally gone, and Apple is bringing the dynamic island to the E series for the first time. This is a huge design shift. It might seem cosmetic, but it is psychological. Once the iPhone 17e shares the same front design as the rest of the iPhone lineup, it stops looking like an older or cheaper model. It feels like a current generation iPhone. For buyers searching for a new iPhone in 2026, That visual upgrade alone makes the iPhone 17e far more compelling than people expect. It removes the social stigma of having the cheap phone. It just looks like an iPhone. However, we have to address the elephant in the room. The screen. Yes, it is still a 60 Hz display. It is not 90 Hz. It is not 120 Hz. And let's be honest, it is 2026. The era of 60 Hz is technically over. You can buy budget Android phones for $200 that have faster refresh rates. The difference between 60 Hz and 120 Hz is huge, especially when you're scrolling through text or switching between apps. Once you notice that slight lag or that ghosting effect, it can get irritating fast. But Apple knows exactly what trade-off they're making here. They are betting against the tech enthusiasts. They are betting that most regular people, your parents, your non-tech friends, the average consumer, cannot tell the difference or simply do not care. Most Apple fans will still choose longer battery life, the blue bubble ecosystem, and a lower price over smoother animations. But still, you have to admit, a 90 Hz panel would have been the perfect middle ground for a budget iPhone. It feels like Apple is intentionally holding back just to protect the sales of their Pro models. Furthermore, the camera setup tells the same story of less is more. We are looking at a single 48-megapixel sensor. No telephoto lenses, number 2-megapixel macro cameras that serve no purpose. No unnecessary hardware, just Apple's best image processing doing the heavy lifting. Think about how you actually use your camera for social media, for video calls, and for everyday photography. Do you really need a 5x optical zoom? Do you really need an ultra-wide lens that distorts the edges of the photo? For most people, the answer is no. The difference between this single robust sensor and a $1,000 iPhone camera will be almost impossible to spot on an Instagram feed or a TikTok video. Apple is essentially saying that one incredible camera is better than 3 mediocre ones. It is a bold stance, but it aligns with how people actually use their devices. The real wild card in all of this is the price. This is where Apple holds the detonator. At $599, Apple plays it safe. That is a standard price point. It competes well, but doesn't break the market. But at $499, at that price, they blow everything up. Because at that point, the iPhone 17 it doesn't just compete with Android. It starts eating Apple's own Pro lineup. Think about it. You get the same chip, a modern design with a dynamic island, and the same main camera for hundreds of dollars less. Why would the average person spend double the money for a Pro model just for a zoom lens and a smoother screen? For many, that math just doesn't add up. The rollout is going to be classic Apple. There will probably be no massive keynote. No Tim Cook walking on stage to thunderous applause. Just a quiet press release, a website update, and a launch that shifts the market overnight. It is just weeks away. This silent approach is almost more terrifying for competitors because it shows confidence. Apple doesn't need to shout about this phone to sell millions of them. They know exactly what they have. They have a device that offers flagship performance and strong battery life for under $500. So, you have to be honest with yourself. If you can get 90% of the iPhone experience for 50% of the price, what is the Pro model really selling you? Is it status? Is it features you actually use, or features you just like the idea of having? The iPhone 17e forces us to look in the mirror and ask what we actually value in a smartphone. It exposes the diminishing returns of the high-end market. It is a reminder that technology has plateaued in a way that finally benefits the budget buyer. This phone is Apple's way of locking down their ecosystem for another decade. By getting the A19 chip into the hands of millions of people who normally wouldn't buy a new iPhone, they ensure that these users can run the latest software, the latest services, and the latest AI features for years to come. It is a long-term play. It is about market share, not just profit margins on hardware. It is about making sure that in 2030, you are still using an iPhone because the one you bought in 2026 simply refuses to die. When you look at the landscape of the smartphone market in 2026, it is cluttered with confusing names, incremental upgrades, and prices that seem to only go up. The iPhone 17e cuts through that noise with a machete. It is simple, it is powerful, it is reliable, and it makes the $1,000 flagships look increasingly difficult to justify. If this phone launches at $499, it is arguably the best value proposition in the history of the smartphone. It is the device that proves you don't need to spend a mortgage payment to get a world-class computer in your pocket. It is the reset button the industry didn't know it needed, but definitely deserves. This is the end of the spec war and the beginning of the efficiency war. It is the end of paying for features you don't use and the beginning of paying for a user experience that lasts. The iPhone 17 isn't just a new phone. It is a statement. And that statement is loud and clear. The era of the overpriced, overspec flagship might finally be coming to an end. If you liked the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon.